I appreciate you being a man of style.
The tiger camo shoes he has, but I don't like the fabric. So they had them at the outlet for Vans, and I was like,
My favorite pair of the camo Vans that I've ever had was this like duck camo, this old duck camo.
I know the duck camo. My Crocs are duck camo. They are.
Well,
I got them for fishing, Matt.
I don't believe you.
They're comfortable.
I don't believe you.
They're the Birkenstocks of the lake.
Oh, God. They make rubber Birkenstocks. You could just wear those.
I didn't know that. I don't know anything about Birkenstocks.
Instead, you wore these stupid oven mitts for shoes that you can put in the dishwasher.
I painted this room in Birkenstocks.
Oh, JP. We'll cut all that. Cut all that from the podcast.
Well, I went to
It's the most offensive thing I've heard.
I wanted some house shoes. My feet are too wide for most slides, as you've experienced.
I'm aware.
And so most house shoes, I don't want them like to be hot.
No, dude,
I don't
that's
want my
the
feet
worst.
to sweat. So I don't
Hot
like any of
shoes.
the lined ones. Now, lined ones with socks in the winter, like, we can fuck with this.
Yeah.
But I need like 4 different pairs of I need more house shoes than I need regular shoes. See, buddy?
Send it.
Yep.
But like, I like barbecue in my Crocs. You know, I went and I tried like 7 different kinds of indoor, outdoor house shoes, and I walked out with Crocs.
Yeah, I end up just doing flip-flops.
I got them with a lot of holes, not the big ones.
So that they have
They have
more
different patterns.
aerated version of a Croc.
Well, I just thought I'd get a sunburn through the big holes if I was in the boat fishing.
True.
So I was like, these little holes will
So
be
you
way
went more
better.
of like a mesh pattern.
Pretty much.
So despite your love for foam footwear.
So I got the better, like, upgraded Crocs,
Yeah.
but because they have different holes, everybody thinks they're the cheaper kind, but they're the more expensive
They
kind.
think they're knockoffs.
So now
Everyone
everybody
you're
thinks I
wearing
have knockoff
bootleg
Crocs.
fucking Crocs.
Yeah, like I got them at this barbershop down the
It's
street.
terrible. It just some market.
Yeah. No, and then there's a guy, Mason, here. Like, Mason and Dylan wear Crocs all the time, and they, like, bench and stuff or deadlift. And I was like, Mason, these Crocs, I, like, put them on my story.
Yeah.
And then he replied, they're all white. Like, it looks like he's going to go work on a shrimp boat or something.
All right, got some.
All
What
white
are those
Crocs.
called around here?
Coked out Crocs.
Coked out Crocs
is what he called them.
Oh,
and now I
man.
can't hate them. That's
No,
too cool.
They're as fancy as something like a limousine driver would wear.
Yes. Yes.
Real high class party.
Exactly.
Something limo drivers would do. So today's podcast is a little bit different. As we've shot the shit plenty of times, I felt like coming in and we did a gym tour to show off
Yeah.
the new place. As you guys are starting to get back rolling.
Yeah.
With on the backside of the virus.
Yeah, no, it's been kind of interesting. So we followed along with it, and
Well, I don't know if backside's even fucking true, but
No, yeah.
here's where we are.
we're in the middle.
Yeah.
I guess. We're in that point where they feel like in my area in Kansas City that we flattened the curve enough to like get back out about it, you know? And we're in a pretty industrial area. There's not a lot of homes in this area. It's mostly businesses. And so they're like, hey, yeah, this area can get back to work. There's been 1 death in the whole county. There was 0 deaths in the county next door.
Oh, shit.
And they've had a handful, you know, across the river and in Kansas and whatever. But it just hasn't been a lot. And, you know, like I think it's just at that time where they're like, you know, we can keep delaying this, but we feel like there's no reason to. You know, America set their standard for, hey, we're going to get back to work on May 4th. And then, so then the state of Missouri said, okay, well, we're going to just go ahead and be in line with that. And a little bit disappointing that it feels like whatever party a state's represented by is how they're affected by this.
Yeah, but we're not
That's been a little
completely
frustrating.
back to work, are we?
So
Well,
there's
St. Louis is not.
there's phases. And
Yeah.
St. Louis had it worse than we did.
Yep, of course.
So-
Well, it's a population center.
Yeah, any county can handle it differently. So that was the first thing that was not understood by me is like how the rules get handed out. You know, so if America says something, does that trump what your city says? No, it's the opposite.
Well, we
So-
still have states' rights over
Yeah,
federal rights,
it was,
which is why pot or anything else is...
Federal, state, county, city.
Oh, shit. Okay,
So-
so more local, the more...
Absolutely. So the whole city of Kansas City decided like, hey, no, we're going to push that back to May 14th. And so, or May 15th, you can open on the 16th. And that's what we thought the answer was. And that actually really, really upset me when I was in the middle of this break. And then I learned, hey, you're going to be closed another 3 weeks. And that's when we decided, like, hey, you know, we've already started renovating the bathrooms. Let's renovate the whole rest of the building. And let's just do everything that we can while people are gone to get better. And let's use all this time wisely because we don't want to waste a minute, you know, even if we're shut down. So we started getting active in that, and then literally 3 days later, I had just finished watching the 8th Star Wars movie after never seeing one in my entire life.
How do you feel about Star Wars?
And the next day, May the 4th.
May the 4th. All right.
That was cool, right?
You're the winner. You did this.
Yes. I watched the end of the 8th movie at midnight on Wednesday, and Thursday morning they said May the 4th.
How do you feel about the Star Wars franchise?
Great now.
Which ones did you like and not like?
So I screwed up pretty bad.
You didn't watch in chronological order?
I watched 4, 5, 6, which you're supposed to, right?
Yeah.
But there's also these other orders that are out now. So like they're like, hey, no, to understand that one, you should watch this one, that one.
Well, there is a.
I went the easiest way.
Yeah.
I did 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. And then, like, Solo is where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, but that would chronologically work, right?
Rogue One
because,
was, yes.
Yeah, the 4, 5, 6 are prequel.
Right.
And then 1, 2, 3, the original. I didn't
No,
have
no,
time
no.
to say original.
4, 5, 6 original, 1, 2, 3 prequel, and then
okay, so
7
I
and 8
I
are
was
the
thinking
end.
you were counting based on when they were released.
No. So I kind of went with what
So
was
you
supposed to chronologically happen in the series, except I started with the original 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because if you start with 1, 2, 3, it can ruin it for you because 1's not that good.
No, it's bad.
Yeah, so you got to start with 4, 5, and 6.
Man, they hated that
to
Jar Jar.
like it.
People hate the Jar Jar Binks thing.
So the 1, 2, 3, you can tell like when Disney took over, it like really got kiddie.
Yeah.
You know, I really liked it though overall. I started kind of messed up. I was supposed to watch 4, 5, 6. I actually went 5, 6, 4, but 5 was so good it was okay.
Yes.
You know, I started with the Jabba the Hutt one.
Jabba the Hutt's awesome.
Yeah, that episode was great. It was good, and it kept me interested. It kept me like saying I was like really obsessing over what order, and that's why I failed to watch it a bunch of times because I never got the order right. And then I'd start the first one and just be like, I'm just not into it. And so anyway, I get into it this time, and I was like, no, I like that enough that I don't care what order I watch them in. Now I can just enjoy them.
Man, I love that one of the things between 1 and 2 is Mark Hamill gets in a gnarly fucking car crash and like almost died. Mm-hmm. So that's why when 2 starts, like he's all beat up.
Oh yeah,
it's because they didn't do makeup. Like he was so like he almost lost his fucking face in this car crash, and so he's got stitches and all this shit.
Yeah.
So like a lot of that going into 2,
works.
They ended up like having to give some backstory of him getting his like shit beat out of him and almost getting killed.
I guess we'll use this.
And they were like, well, we'll have to work some of the story to explain why your face looks completely different.
Right. Yeah, that would help to explain that.
Yeah. Just fucking crazy. Dude, those people are on top of the planet when that stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why we got to open on the 4th.
Yeah.
The rest of the gyms in the area, they open on the 15th or 16th. And
another 10 days, dude.
Some of them are not going to be till June. So a lot of places they're like, hey, you know, we're going to roll out the stay-at-home order and how we re-release everything. And again, whatever party the city's affiliated with, it seems like. I mean, hopefully they're going off of research, but it sure seems that they're not. If they went off the numbers, then it would just be about this whole, you know, numbers game thing.
Yeah.
But it seems to be conservative places are really voting for businesses to open, and liberal places are not.
It's fucking
and
crazy
it's
to me,
upsetting.
right? Like, I hate the fact that our country has gotten so binary as far as politics go. That how has a pandemic and people's livelihood become a right or left decision?
Yeah, it's really
That's
interesting.
a real shame, right? Like this isn't a right or left. Like how I feel about opening businesses shouldn't also reflect my stance on abortion.
Right. Absolutely, you know. I mean, I just felt like the city that we live in went with a real common sense approach. Like, hey, there's not a lot of just general people here. It's mostly business, and there's really no cases here, so let's just go ahead and roll this out.
Yeah.
And if that's the issue in your area, then let's roll this out. But, man, I've got clients all over the country and friends, and you know, they're just not allowed to do anything.
Not allowed to
and
do anything.
they're moved from the national plan, the federal plan, as gyms are in phase 1. And in their states, gyms are in phase 3 or 4. And so they're having to stay closed while literally every other place gets to be open. and gyms are part of the very, very back end. And
I'm just waiting for nail salons, man. I gotta get my toes redid.
I know. I need a pedi pretty bad.
I feel busted.
Yeah,
I don't get down there so good. I realized that during this break when I actually cut my toenails.
I literally hired a barber 3 times over this break to come to the gym and cut my hair.
I'm just gonna let it get loose until I don't know when. I may just run it through Alaska. Like just let it get. I've never had my hair long.
I had mine long once, and
How long?
I thought about growing it out again, like upper back.
No fucking way.
I donated 10 inches.
Come on.
I grew it. So my freshman year in college, I was watching some bowl game with my dad, and Iowa was playing, and they had this really good lineman. I think it might have been like Robert Gallery or something. He's drafted by the Oakland Raiders, and he had this really long hair, and he was going to donate it. And I just go, I could do that.
I could do that.
And literally 18 months later, a year and a half later, I grew a half inch of hair a month for 20 months or whatever, and I grew 10 inches of hair, and then it was coming out of my football helmet and into my ear my junior year. And the worst part was growing it out because it looked like shit until it looked cool. And
How
then
far is that?
Once I got it out, man, it was like yours is already long on top.
Yeah.
But I had mine high and tight, and I grew it out.
Oh, shit.
And so my hair's so thick, it was like
just
this big afro, and then it would barely come down. And then finally, when it got long enough to like tuck behind my ears, it could look cool. And it was like blonde with highlights, and my hair looked great. But when it was wet, it was like down to here.
Whoa.
It would come out of my football helmet and into my ear.
I've for sure the longest my hair's ever been has been like I could put it to the tip of my nose.
Yeah, mine was below my chin.
But like I've never had also the sides.
Yeah.
Long.
I was telling Ethan he has long hair, and
Yeah.
the other under the gym, and I said, you really need to shave all the way around and then have the pony on top like I did when I was in 7th grade.
Good look.
And then
that was your look in 7th grade?
You could like let it come down with a part in the middle, have a little butt part right in the middle, and just down to here, and everything else is shaved.
You definitely look like a guy who's still listening to Korn as much as you possibly can.
I'm just like shocked that softball players took that look and then ran with it for another 20 years.
You could definitely rock that look straight to the gathering at Jimbo's.
Hey, what was it? Genko. I saw a meme from Genko the other day.
They coming back?
I definitely 1,000% wore Genkos. It was Genko de Mayo.
Genko de Mayo.
It was
way.
Today's May the 6th. Today's the 6th. So yesterday I saw this meme that said Genko de Mayo, and they had the big jeans. When I had my hair like that, those are the jeans I was wearing.
I never had Jinkos.
I was more into the shorts.
Jinkos were more around. I guess no, they were still around when I was in high school.
We definitely listened to a lot of Korn and wore Jinkos.
I listened to a lot of Korn. I never wanted to look like I wore Jinkos.
Yeah.
I definitely did the.
I did the tearaway pant thing.
Oh, nice.
Adidas, shell toes.
See, that was always a boot. I kind of had more of a frat boy dress. I guess it was like boot cut jeans. Would cut up both sides of the jeans so they flared over the shoe.
I
really
remember
good
this.
look.
I remember this.
And then it was like that in flip flops and t-shirts and hats. Yeah. Like a pretty normal, not wildly different than how I dress now.
A little more. I shop at the mall.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Some weird bullshit free t-shirt that we would me and I remember Aaron, my buddy, and then our other buddy, Unbelievable, would go thrift stores to find t-shirts, and we always referred to it as Goodwill hunting. We're going Goodwill hunting.
I found this shirt. How you like them apples?
Dude, we would just buy pearl snaps and all this other bullshit stuff we could find.
Right. I remember when I was like 12 and I had that haircut and wore Jenkos, and it must have happened one time. I went to the skating rink a lot. I inline skated.
I did a lot of skating.
And I had like custom quads. Like I like dance and skate. And like I won the races every week.
All right.
I was a really good skater.
Well, you've always been an athlete.
Yeah. And I credit my squatting to my skating.
It makes sense.
I played roller hockey, forever. Okay. And so anyway.
Did you play real hockey?
No. Okay. We didn't have an ice rink until I was in high school. And then so I wore this flannel shirt once. It was like black and white with like little red pinstripe lines, and I must have like talk to a hot girl or something, because I think I wore that shirt for another like 16 weeks in a row. And
something good happened in it.
And it was the only shirt those people ever saw me in, so they had to have thought it was the only one I had.
Oh.
You know? And I just remember like thinking like I had so much swag in that one shirt, you know? And I remember it very vividly. Like I had to have worn it 35 times. You know, little fat 12-year-old JP wasn't really, you know, killing it with the ladies at the rink.
You knew that shirt was good.
Absolutely. Hey, you know, the only thing that I was really effective at is like maybe if I wasn't hot enough to get a hot girl to skate with me, I was the best skater. So like they were like, well, I'll go dance skate with him.
That's true, because you could skate backwards.
I could fucking kill it. I was Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, dude, I could skate backwards.
I'll do the lift.
Dude, we spent a ton of time at the skating rink growing up.
I was there Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah, we went to Skate City. It was all the way in Lake Charles, so it was like 30 minutes from where I live.
Ours was Starlight Skate Center, and then it turned to Skate Away, and I worked there.
Was the floor wood?
No. It was a blue floor. But
oh, man.
Lots of lights and the spider on the ceiling. And
were there direction?
Oh, for sure.
Man, I went to one in this place like fucking Westlake outside of Lake Charles, and it was like the big blue shiny floor. And like there wasn't a circle or any type of thing. It was just this fucking free-for-all madness.
Huge, yeah.
I fucking hated it. What is going? We need rules here. Like there needs to be a traffic direction.
There was a direction.
There wasn't at this fucking place I went to. It was just goddamn madness.
It was always counterclockwise, and then they would change it sometimes. You know, I felt like Zoolander though. I couldn't turn right. You know, instead of left.
You get real good at going left.
Yeah. Going left was great. I mean, I don't know how the NASCAR guys do it. You know.
Yeah, man, racing and shit was fun. I went to Skate City, and
we had Saturday night at the races.
I didn't get into rollerblades though. I was always a four-banger dude. But
I had both.
See, I got into like rollerblades when I was trying to do like roller hockey, but that would have been like late middle school. Yeah. So skating rink is prior to middle school.
I was the guy that showed up with like 3 pair.
Just like what type of night is it?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like pulling out your lifting bags. Like, that's my bench belt.
They were like, why don't any pairs of his skates have brakes? And I'm like, well, where I'm going, I don't need brakes.
Brakes slow you down.
Exactly.
Pussy.
I just, I let it rip. We cleaned the floors this week, and I'm like,
Did you know?
I'm so wet tonight with my slides.
You watched Tom Segura's Disgraceful.
I just watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the thing where he's talking about the word gay, and he's like his buddy ordering a glass of water without ice in it, and he's like, that's gay. Yes. Which is a perfect example.
Right. Joey Diaz gives a good example of gay. Yeah.
Another one is if you and I were pulling skates out of our bag, and I pulled mine out and then added brakes. That's definitely gay.
Yeah, or if the guy that like was a super OG and he would like tie the tongue down or like fold it over.
Yeah, not a good look.
You know who was always the coolest guy at the rink when I was little? It was there's this guy, I never knew his name, this young black guy, wore skates like that. And he would like go through and clear the wall, and everybody knew it was time for his move. And he would go leg over the wall.
What?
We had a half wall, you know.
Oh yeah.
And he would go like leg over the wall, and then when there was a break, he would like spin and then back. And I was always so impressed.
Can you imagine going to clear the wall for your fucking skate move? Mm-hmm. What do you think he's doing?
Well, he would he would roll by, and he would be like doing this thing, and then everybody would be like, "You gotta get it back."
Oh man, they'd get quiet chat.
And then he would come back, and
dude, we had video games. I remember playing Mortal Kombat a lot.
Yeah, my kid got a Switch, and so I'm like, oh good, I get to get Mortal Kombat.
Man, I got out of fighting games the older I got because they turned in once they switched to like the whole combo thing. Man,
no, it's like I can't enjoy just pounding the keys. The problem with games now is you have to learn them. I don't want to learn a game. I want to play it. With Nintendo, it's so easy you just play.
Yeah, well, even Mortal Kombat back in the day, like I remember learning the moves.
Yeah.
But then there wasn't like a strategy that you could set up these big played out combos like goddamn Killer Instinct.
I'm just gonna get Honda and do this.
Like Street Fighter, man. Yeah. Like that's the fighting game I want.
Street Fighter 2.
2 or 3 moves to make. Everyone's about equal power.
Absolutely.
No one's at a real advantage.
Yeah, no, I like going to the arcade place here, the beer arcade place.
Those are good times, man.
Down. I have a good time there. Some of them suck, but that one's cool.
There's a good one in Chicago that we've been to a few times.
They can make them real sterile.
Oh, yeah.
They can be weird.
Yeah, they need to be kind of trashy.
Yes. This one has character.
Yeah.
Like it's not empty. There's multiple levels. There's one where it's all one level, but it's also a weird place where they only serve one kind of beer.
Oh.
You know, like they only serve like Miller Lite.
Yeah, I definitely want to catch a guy smoking a cig.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
At this place, the one I don't like, it's like more commercial, and then it's also like, and I have a friend that works there, so that sucks, but it's more commercial, and everything's the same level, and the walls are real plain, so it feels really sterile. And then like I remember they were like, and I don't like Fireball, but they were like, hey, let's get like 6 Fireball shots, and they're like, sorry, we don't have that brand. It's like, okay, well, you're a bar that's too corporate for me.
I'm out of here. Bunch of losers.
I'm going to go walk past the pay by the ounce beer weird place and then go somewhere cool.
So what else has been going on during shutdown? We've apparently had the world's largest amount of drama over a lift.
Yeah, the Thor deadlift.
Yeah, HVIII's 501.
Yeah, you know, what I would hope people would do is what I do, which is just like, yeah, I'm not into that, but I'm going to watch it. It's going to be fun. It's part of history and lifting, so I have to appreciate it in some way. And then just do the rest of my life.
You know, I guess the way I feel about it, and I guess with the amount of drama or anything like that, I've never been an athlete that chased trophies.
Sure.
I found success in my sport.
Yeah.
But like I don't know where either of the world championship trophies. One of the world championship trophies I left in Canada.
Yeah.
And tried to have them mail it to me, and then they didn't, and
Right.
I just never bothered trying to get it back.
Right.
And then the other one was a medal.
Mm-hmm.
Like so it's hanging on a wall
Right.
next to other ones that are from other bullshit things.
I have a mantle in my basement on a fireplace that we've never used.
Okay.
I think I used it once. It's in like a rec room with like an epoxy floor.
Yeah.
And there's like storage, you know, and there's a recliner somewhere. And on the edge of it, there's like metals just shoved on there from like anything.
Right.
Like YMCA, whatever, like
Sure.
this 5K, and then like somewhere in there's the medal from when I set the all-time world record.
Right.
I don't know, there's like 20 of them.
It's just not a. The trophy thing was never a big deal to me. So.
Yeah.
Because I've never cared about that, and I've never really given a shit about
Right.
like the competition side of it,
Right.
or making it legit. But it's the most impressive deadlift I've ever seen.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
totally.
Does it count as the all-time deadlift world record? No, it doesn't.
It's interesting.
It's got to be done in competition, man.
Everything was done, you know, at the highest level they could do it. There was obviously it was the weight that it was. They weighed everything. They did everything. It's just odd. Like I was telling you when I was at the Arnold, I was watching him warm up for the deadlift, and I mean he could have set the record there if he wanted to.
Yeah,
but
I think he could have. Too.
I know he didn't want to. You know,
No, I think he played smart and went for the win.
Absolutely. And then also he wanted to do this on a day where he was going to get paid for it.
Yeah.
And he did a lot.
Yeah, I hope so.
You know, and so what's interesting though is at the Arnold, you know, like you don't get to do what you want. Like you're on one platform with 10 guys.
Right.
You do have to jockey and play the game. And so it is more challenging to do it.
100% more challenging. Yeah.
And, for example, I don't have any problem, you know, with it's kind of interesting. Like,
But with that said, like
Steffi broke a world record at her own meet.
Yes.
You know, and she cut weight at home, which is a big deal. So she did that really big weight cut at home, and that's why she probably did her own meet. And I don't really have opinion on either or whatever, but that is an easier thing than going to California, cutting the weight there, not being at home.
It's wildly easier. As long as everything's still put in place, who cared who paid for the meet, as long as judging's kept at the quality that it needs to be kept, blah, 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 blah. And it is a legit meet. Like, we do have other lifters.
Right. Like, you know, Eddie probably had to stay at a hotel. He probably had to have
Well, it was Giants Live. It was in London.
Giants Live in London.
Like,
he
was... With that said, there was plenty catered to Eddie that day for that lift.
That's true. That, you know, so that's one part.
So let's not pretend that contest wasn't built around Eddie getting that
They set that whole thing up for that. Absolutely.
What no one's ever fucking talked about is how wildly impressive like Jerry Pritchard pulled whatever he pulled at that weekend.
Yeah.
By himself with no entourage, not making a fucking fuss.
Dude, he's so simple. He's just a simple guy. Like he had posted something that I thought was a piece of training equipment one time. I remember when I had my first beer. He had posted some piece of training equipment I thought it was, and I sent him a message about it. I was like, what do you use that for? What is that? It was for like some power line company he works for as a welder. He's like, this is for work.
Yeah.
And I was like,
what
oh,
is this
shit.
trickery?
He's like, this is for work. He's like, I work like 70 hours a week.
Yeah, so
he's hardcore.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, wildly impressive.
Wildly impressive. Yeah, and I mean, look, I'm not taking anything away from Eddie's pool either.
No. The only thing I'll say about it negatively is the reason it doesn't count for me a lot, and the reason I don't like it and I don't ever want to see it again is because I don't want it to be how we do things now. Is Ray Williams going to set the all-time world record squat because he set a federation? So there's no single lift squat record. There's, you can't just squat and then not do the rest of the meet. You can do token lifts.
Of course.
Squat is the only lift that you can't do as an individual lift. Because there are bench only, there are deadlift only, there's no squat only.
But the truth on what will actually predict whether this becomes normal is the reaction from the people who watched it.
It's true.
That's actually what will predict it. It's not necessarily the federations. It's not who makes any of the rules.
Right.
It's not who judges the world record.
Right.
It'll really be decided. Does the audience say this is okay or not okay?
Well, what I don't want to see is, Rob Carney's going to set the all-time world record for the logs, so now we're just going to do it at his gym.
Yeah.
I want to see him do it against, Matuz and Martins.
Or with that said, do people put up those numbers in training? And I think that's really the difference. It's not like we haven't had giant training numbers in videos before, but nobody pulled 1,100 fucking pounds in training.
No, it's true.
And that's the same for Rob with a log world record. I think all of us know that you wouldn't do it that way because you'd save it for the platform. But currently, if there's no platform.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, and also like I'm not into people being treated special in strength sports.
Same.
Because I don't want to be treated special. When I set, or I tried to set an all-time world record after I set it and lost it, I didn't even take a handler with me out to California.
Right.
Steve Gentili was in the warm-up room.
Hey, can you help me out a little bit?
I was like, hey, you deadlift 800. You want to hand off my bench? It's going to be 640. And he was like, yeah, man, cool.
Right.
That's all it took. I'm just not into people feeling special or getting special rules or treatment or seeing world records get passed that aren't good or whatever. And so one thing I don't like about it. We have both
seen plenty of bad lifts happen in person at a legit meet that are.
So what I don't want to see is people getting, special treatment where others don't. So he was signed up for a meet. It didn't happen. So he did this.
Yep.
Well, guess who else was signed up for a meet? Everybody else.
Everyone else, of course, right?
But
I also appreciate Haptor's response of, well, I'm doing this for me.
Right.
This is what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I mean, so who do you really blame for this? Is it up for him to make the moral decision that it's not right for me to do it in training if I can, even though whatever my sponsors will pay me X to take it to not take advantage of a situation, right? But my sponsors will pay me X because I'm doing a thing that no human's ever done.
Right.
And if you're that close to a record like that, and there isn't a meet, do you fucking hold off and risk being injured later down the road and not knowing that you could have fucking pulled it?
Right.
Or do you say, well, fuck how anyone else feels about this. I need to fucking know.
Right.
And then do what? You not share it?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about this a lot yesterday. I talked about it a bit. And, it's just, there's so much that could go into that. There's so many,
there's
variables.
A lot. It's not a black and white issue to me.
There's really not. There's just so many variables.
Well,
so
whether or not it is a legit world record. Do we want to see the camera crews
at Ray's gym squatting,
Yeah, look.
Again, I think it's more like what Chris Duffin does. It was an exhibition.
Of course. Also, Duffin has gotten Guinness World Records.
Yeah.
For things that he's done in his gym, right?
That don't exist.
That aren't real things.
Some of them exist and some of them don't. So I actually talked to Chris about this subject in his gym a couple months ago. He was telling me, he was like, some things there's already a world record for. There's some things where you apply for new ones.
Okay.
And he's like, especially things that you can't duplicate. It's like there's certain things that are hard to duplicate and create a world record on. So for some of them, like Guinness will create a new one, and for some of them, they'll just try to beat one that was there before.
Gotcha.
Kind of interesting. Because he had a certificate on his wall, so we were talking about it.
Well, which part of that I kind of laughed at because I just was thinking with all of the hoorah about this bullshit because the two guys are a bit higher profile than Chris.
Right.
That no one has said shit about Chris, like, boom, Guinness World Record. Because he just did it on his own. Like
he does it on its own and
I
promotes
did this
himself.
for me.
Yeah. it's his goals and things. And
yeah, he's a super, super interesting guy.
he's interesting. And when we talked about it, I mean, okay, so he squatted 1,000 high 3 times, and it was his goal, and that's what he wanted to do, and nobody else has really ever done that.
And he's also doing it barefoot. He's got knee wraps on. He's got voodoo floss at his hips.
Yeah.
Like, he's not asking you for your fucking approval.
No, he's just trying to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, I want to pick up some fucking heavy weight often.
So, like, I felt like Thor's could have just been that, kind of. That's
Could have been an exhibition lift.
That's kind of what it was to me.
Yeah. However, for me, I know my line on this stuff, and I know where I stand with it of I don't like the WWE side of controversy as a promotion.
For sure.
And so there's definitely some of that I felt is going on. Well, fuck, we'll just lean in to keep calling this a world record because people are talking about it and people are going to watch. Right.
Well, let's make it more controversial so we can make it more popular because that's the only route that it really grows.
Right. And then you've got how many other... What was that?
The dog shook and hit his tail on the door.
Then how many...
Bear Silva, everybody.
I mean, how many different YouTube channels picked it up to talk about it?
So many.
Like,
I mean, it created content for weeks.
Yeah, and I watched a bunch of people's channels, and part of those, for me, as a guy who does YouTube, and I've got asked about like, what's my opinion on it, and I guess this is the most I've ever spoke.
Right.
But there's part of me that feels like, who the fuck am I to tell these guys my thoughts on their fucking lift? Like, they didn't ask me.
Right.
And they've got every right to go do whatever the fuck they want.
And that's kind of how I set my opinion, is I was just thinking about, okay, well, what would the last 2 world record holders think? Because I think there has to be respect in sport, too. That's why I don't want it to be treated better than other people. I don't want them to ever say that he had a lift because, he had the most favorable judging.
Okay, so
or I went anywhere because I got good treatment. I just wanted to go places where everybody was strong.
Right. I mean, so what would you call greatest deadlift of all time?
Mine's still Benny Magnuson because it was
that 10-15.
No, it's people have really argued that those were legit lifts. I had a really smart guy that I think is not a liar lift on those same plates and said, "Hey, this weight felt an awful lot like this weight."
I have heard the same, and I've also heard those plates have never shown up at another thing.
Yeah.
Now, outside of that, I haven't pushed any research.
Right. That guy that did that also wears, like, daily clothes that look like fake pimp clothes and, like, sunglasses you can't see through. Indoors.
Does he MC for the USAPL?
He MCs for himself.
Oh, good.
I think it was, like, the Hardcore Powerlifting Federation.
Some shit that's never done another thing. Like, it's really weird. They flew Benny out to do this meet.
Yes.
Him and Stefan, and
well, and at the same meet was a lot of other people, too.
I do not believe Benny was in on it.
No.
If the plates were... And Benny lifted 10-15 because that's the most they could fit on the fucking bar.
Yes. Yes.
Like, who knows what he would have fucking pulled that day because it looked like he could have tripled that shit.
Well, it just sucks because then you, like, bring up Andy Bolton, and then people I trust are like, well, Andy Bolton's never locked out a deadlift. And I'm like, okay, well, who do we love?
Are we back to Ed?
Let's just love Ed Cohen. And Yuri,
Ed Cohen's the best deadlift of all time. We're back there.
Yuri's the guy.
Yeah.
No, it's really, really hard. I mean, I think that if you're talking strongman, you just have to kind of appreciate the physical culture of it because strongman has really evolved so much over the years that it's a little bit weird that strongman is being officiated this way and having world records and you know.
And I guess
they used to run on a track with refrigerators with safety squat bars attached to them.
Right.
Like that's where we're coming from here.
Right.
Okay. Like,
it's always been weird.
They used to fucking sumo wrestle.
Dude, what a fucking
now we
weird
just do
event.
that at birthday parties.
What a weird event, dude. Twice in my life, I've been at Highland Games because they still do Scottish wrestling.
Yes.
Man. Like, I know that I've got a shitty knee, and like I competed with kind of a shit knee the whole time.
Yeah. And I feel like you really don't want to touch everybody.
Only in Scotland have I ever had to do the Scottish wrestling.
I'd be the annoying guy that is like, oh, this is my event. I suck at the other ones.
Dude, and like I think no. I've only done it once. Only had it happen once. It was Glasgow, an event Dougie Edmonds puts on, and tells us we're gonna fucking Scottish wrestle, and so I'm like, why?
So what does one do?
So Scottish wrestling would be like you and I go chest to chest,
Uh-huh.
and arms around each other like this. So
like the clinch.
Lock your hands,
Yeah.
and then try to get the other one to the ground while you're still around
Locked.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd do suplex.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah.
So we get paired up, and I get paired with Sebastian Winter.
And you're not a big Highland Games guy.
No,
You were small.
I'm 6'2", 290.
And then at the end of it, when you had lost weight, you were really not the
Yeah,
biggest
but
guy.
I was still probably 285, 280.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get paired up with Sebastian Winter. Sebastian took second at World's Strongest Man in 2002.
Right.
He's 6'10", and 370 pounds.
Did
It's
you
not like
scratch?
just even standing there to get chest to chest with him is such a fucking embarrassment.
Yeah, it's weird.
And I just started, when they pair us up, I just start laughing hysterically. And, like, I just walk over to Sebastian, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm not really going to wrestle you.
No.
Just so we're super fucking clear on this.
Yeah.
Please don't hurt me.
Yes.
And he's like, no problem. No problem. And we just kind of laughed and then got out there, and I was like, put on a little bit of a show.
Yeah.
And you win.
Let's mix it up, and then I'm gonna roll. You know, that would have been funny if you would have gotten paired with Andy.
Crushed me. Oh, God. No, well, he was never over in Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah. The other story, they
Andy's
did
an eighth rower, though, right?
Andy threw pro.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
My brother, for those
Right.
following along. The other one I heard of, they did it for a Europe Strongest Man years ago, and Zadrunas got paired with Misha going
good
into
match.
that, right? And I guess, like, as it starts,
Yeah.
Misha just rears back and fucking headbutts him and just gives him the business.
I see that.
Just blow.
Yeah.
So they blow a whistle, and now they're trying to disqualify Misha from the whole competition, like fucking
Yeah.
kick him out. Zadrunas is furious.
Probably pissed. Yeah.
And like Misha all of a sudden speaks zero English, and like his handler's over there, and he's like, "No, you can't disqualify Misha. People love him. He didn't understand the rules.
He did not know."
Right?" And so I don't remember what the fucking outcome is. I'm sure they didn't kick him out, but probably lost that event.
That's the best part of like putting anybody that like is ESL, English second language, on blast. Those, what? I don't.
No.
Like,
Fuckers.
the interviews
Yeah,
are
meanwhile,
like.
the only thing I speak is mainly I speak English, kinda. It's a mush mouth of shit from the South and other.
That's so
idioms.
funny. I hope there's video of that. I want to find it.
Dude. I've never
That was a
seen
Misha
it.
headbutt.
Yeah,
I'll
I've
look it
never
up.
seen it, but it would have been like, 2004,
Yeah.
2004, 2005, maybe.
That's good. I was talking about being competitive with one of my clients the other day. And have you ever like had those conversations with people that never knew you as an athlete, and then they like realize that you used to be and you still are part psychopath?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wait, you didn't know me as a like Bonnie's never been to a Highland Games with you.
No.
Not when you were
No.
competing.
No.
She didn't know that of you.
No. She
She's seen it
she
in other
has gotten
ways.
a very chilled out version of me. She sees the competitiveness and the insanity.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's
So,
focused differently.
One of my clients sent me this video. Caleb, he's a really good lifter. He sent me this video of a NFL player trash talking that was really funny, and I was like, that definitely wasn't me. I was definitely a very condescending trash talker. So like, I would like do things to like embarrass them, and then I would condescend them the rest of the game, and
man.
like somebody's older brother that would never let them win at anything ever. And that's how I wanted it to be. And then I also like wanted to hurt him too. Like it was like both of those things. Not hurt him bad, but like just like in embarrassing ways, like cut him really bad, or like you know, like when I was in high school,
Something a little cheap but a little embarrassing.
if I was in high school and I wanted to take a break, I would cut myself with my braces because we didn't have to wear mouthpieces back then. So I would just be like, if I wanted a break, I'd just be like, and then I'd just blood.
Oh no!
And just like little things like that where I was a little shit, you know, when it came to being competitive. And I was like a pretty like, I followed all the rules. I did everything right, but I was absolutely a really, really competitive prick.
Yeah.
And when people don't know you that way and then see it and then their eyes open a little bit and you're like, oh, you don't know me that way.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like when I get mad at my kids and they like their eyes get big and I'm like, oh, I do that too.
Yeah. I was for sure a competitor. Like and especially with track and field, or not track and field, but just I'm a better competitor than I was an actual athlete.
Right.
In track and field. I've always performed well when it mattered.
Yeah. There's a style that comes with that and like an attitude because you were in a sport where you weighed a lot.
Yeah.
There's so much psychology.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, that and being the smaller of the group.
Yeah.
In that group.
And that happens in powerlifting too. Like one time at a meet, Zahir walked in and his back hurt really bad at the U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like complaining about it and he walked away and Rob Philippus and I were sitting there and I was like, man, Rob, he's going to lose, huh? I was like, he's not confident. And then you start picking on people.
Of course.
You know, it's like, oh, sorry, we just
Can't
smelled,
walk in like that.
smelled weakness on you.
Right, and then there's part of me that
Now I'm
immediately
excited.
thinks, did he walk in and do that?
Yeah.
Just
to me.
to stir the pot.
I'm like, man.
Yeah, he's like, man, how you feeling? You're like, fuck, man, just really stiff today, you
A
know?
little tough.
And when you feel fucking gold.
Yeah.
Man, we would do that throwing and like the big one with throwing is like for warm-ups, you want to throw far, but you also want it to look like you didn't try.
Yes.
That's the key.
You want it to be easy.
Yeah.
You can't be like yelling in warm-ups.
No, it's a fucking clown.
I feel like somebody who yells in warm-ups is the same guy who like goes hard on football practices where you're not supposed to. We call those Thursday All-American.
The worst. I remember getting in a fight with some scout team kid. Mad dog. It was like a Thursday before the game, and he is fucking full speeding me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it, dude, you're not going to get on the field this weekend.
Yeah. It's too late to make an impression, buddy.
You're not helping me. And at
Right.
the time, I had gotten like these Newman lineman gloves from Andy as like a hand-me-down, and they were basically like MMA gloves.
Newman Taca Field.
Dude,
I remember
fucking
in my
I
like
just remember-
senior picture, I had like my sleeves rolled up, but I was wearing these big gloves. So like there was nothing, like no shoulder pads, but I had these big ass gloves on.
Like you're trying to be like a soccer
Like I
goalie.
thought I was fucking Shane Carwin.
Big monster hands on that fucking guy. Man, I heard this really interesting idea about like what makes competition special. Mm-hmm. And I'm still working through how to phrase it or anything like that, but I really like the idea of it. And it is this concept that there's like we all know that there's something magic about being prepared in the right time and place with the right environment with good equipment.
Right.
When things just line up and you perform at a level you should never have.
Yes.
Right? We've had it happen enough that you know that feeling. Of like, whoa.
It's the one where the bat hits the ball, but there's no effort.
Right. It's throwing and like technique, everything lines up to a point of, oh man, all I have to do today is go faster.
I call it feels pure.
Right. Yeah, it did. Big squats just happen and nothing pinches and there isn't a shift.
If it's a color, it's white. Like it's pure.
Yeah.
Like
and so
the energy's bright.
This combination of those things being described less as like a chemistry equation of the right things all being added together.
Right.
But more that it's alchemy. And that you can't put a finger on the magic of it and you're trying to produce a thing that is vapor.
I have an example. So my old boss I worked with, he was a good baseball player. Fast. Could hit the ball. Not a lot of power. So he's post D1 baseball in the Northern League, which is kind of like a D League, you know?
Okay.
And there's some players that are really, really good that end up in the D League through contract disputes and stuff. Or you might get, like, put into the minors from the D League maybe, you know, or from this Northern League. So anyway, J.D. Drew is like a grade A talent out of the MLB, and he was in a big contract dispute with the Twins. He's playing with them. So anyway, he goes out to the batting cage. They're pregame. He's hitting the ball, and then he sees J.D. Drew hitting the ball, this pro, and it's looks easy. And it's like got backspin, and it's boom, boom. And I tell people this all the time when they ask about certain things like squatting or squatting 1,000 pounds or whatever, and I alluded to it yesterday. When he asked J.D. Drew, what do you do? Are there drills you do? What should I know? And he goes, hey, man, when I touch the ball, that's what it does. And then he went out and tried, and then he figured out when he touches the ball, that's what it does.
That's what it does.
And so when people ask certain things like about squatting a G or whatever, when I did that, I didn't know what I know now that made me do that.
Sure.
I was just doing it.
Right. You were just able to do it.
I didn't try that hard. And so as long as I showed up and did the hard work part of it, like everything else just did what it needed to do that.
Interesting, yeah.
You know? And so I put yesterday on my post, I was like, hey, for me, losing 100 pounds is going to make me way prouder than squatting 1,000 pounds because it's way harder. And it took years of effort. I walked in and squatted 1,000 pounds without ever having to have a hard rep, really.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it took time, and it took effort, and it took sessions and consistency and all this thing that had to add it up. But those are all things I was already really, really exceptional at and that I wanted to do at all times.
Yeah.
Now I only can do and have to do things that are hard, that I have to try at, that aren't easy, that I'm not naturally good at. And that's a little challenging.
But
sometimes.
there's something fun about being a kook at a thing and, like, being bad at it. And then, like, you get that.
I'm not used to it, but I'm trying to.
Well, the thing I really like about it, right, is, like, you can kind of just play around and always stay in this sweet world of, like, a beginner gains where you learn so much so fast.
Yeah. The problem for me is I'm at the last 30 pounds. I don't feel like I'm a beginner anymore.
No, that's true, right?
So now it's the hard gain.
Right. It's almost like so, like, lately with some of the cycling stuff I've been trying to do is, set different PRs and things like that. So one of those is
22 miles in an hour?
Yeah, in an hour, right. Yeah. So, trying to set my overall hour time.
Yeah.
And so, like, while you're on the bike for an hour like that, it's a really easy thing to try to play this game in your head of strategy and how to pace it. When truth is, I just need the average miles per hour to stay up over this amount the whole time. I can just do that and set it and fucking roll.
Yeah.
But you start like, okay, I know that I'm going to have to breathe, and I know that because I'm not that consistent power output guy that I'm going to have intervals basically in this thing.
There's some science to it where it's like, hey, you need to go 25 miles an hour for this long, 20 for this long.
Yeah, that
like,
I can't just say do 23.
Optimal.
The average just set at 23.
You can't just do 22 for an hour.
No, I can't. Yeah, I'm going to have times where I can go to 25, and I'm going to have times where I stay around 20, even if it's all flat.
Right.
But, like, learning that type of stuff and then getting better at it, especially with something like that where it's really it's the last 10 minutes of that hour are really where the work is.
Right.
Because then you know where you are.
Right.
It's like, okay, fuck, we can beat the last time. And that's when I'm already gassed and tired and legs are filled with fucking blood and lactic acid. And, like, here's what we just got to fucking bury your fucking face into the front of the bike and just pedal.
Yeah, and there's a psychology to that, too. Like, if there is a way to do the very, very best and fastest and, like, just shred every time, maybe you don't do it because you're going to stop enjoying it soon.
Yeah.
Like, I tell lifters, I'm like, hey, make these PRs look easy. Like, I want the bar to move better. I was telling one guy, he's over a 500-pound squatter, and of course he wants to squat 600 pounds.
Of course.
But his velocity slowed down. And I said, as you've gotten stronger, I think you've gotten more scared, too. And if you were in a meet and you squatted 507 and so did another guy, but he did it 30% faster than you, he's going to squat 600 pounds way faster than you do.
Oh, dude,
so you got to get faster.
Yeah, same thing I always did training-wise for the Highland Games. Like, I trained with a Tendo unit for a couple years just based on that, and the way that I would set it up was some days of, like, today I want to try to figure out what my fastest trip or what my heaviest triple I can hit as long as the bar moves at X.
Right.
And as soon as the bar drops below X speed, that's what we hit today.
Yeah.
And it's so far out of an 8 or 9 RPE. I'm trying to keep things between a 6 and a 7 because I want fast and explosive.
Right.
Yeah, it's, man, especially the older I get now and the more pain I've been in, like, I'm good with just doing a better 5.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I understand that. That's for sure.
Yeah. So kind of with that, right? Like pain management. I know we've chatted a little bit about it on different those, but, like, you're kind of one of the only guys I know who's been in it.
Yeah, as much as you almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I think your pain's been worse. I think mine's been weird.
I'm sure.
Like yours is very specific. It's your knee.
It's my knee.
And mine is nerve.
Ooh,
so mine's like, I mean, it could be my foot one day. It could be my calf. It could be my low back. Right now it's kind of in my, hip and butt. Most of the time I'm pain-free. But in order to be pain-free, it means I also have to be pretty much activity-free too. And so, like, I have to budget my time. Like, I think I can work out 3 to 4 days a week for about an hour and, like, get a good pump going with just, like, isolated
and only
shit.
about 10% pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
none of it's pain-free.
And you can recover fine, but, like, the other day, something was taken, and so I was trying to do bench a certain way with my feet up, and even just like going from laying to sitting up, I got into pain. And it just let me know like what those limitations really are, and that I have to be so careful because I wasn't braced, and that shit's lame. And so
Lame,
it's just no better way to put it.
no, it's so fucking lame because it's just not driving the machine that you've learned how to drive.
If we're going to work on the gym for a day, then, I budget my stuff so that I can work on the gym instead of work out.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't do both.
No, you can't.
And, but I need to be better about using my energy when I have it. Like, the other day I got home and it was nice and it was raining a little bit, but I had good energy and I wanted to go for a walk. So I went for a walk. But as a part of that, I also have to, like, go to the chiropractor every single week and get my legs massaged.
Yeah.
I have to get my calves worked on and my feet worked on, and in order to be able to do my 10-minute walks, I'm prescribed.
Well, I mean, at least the good news is with that, theoretically, as you continue on and continue to drop weight, it should be less of that.
You would think for sure. I mean, I've still run into problems, even
I think
less, but
honestly, I think the damage you and I have done to our lower extremities came from the years of lifting. It ain't from the walks. Nor do I believe it's really body weight for that matter.
The funny hard stuff to think about is, so I posted my 1,003-pound squat the other day. I always hate posting old shit. I wish I had new shit, but I just don't.
I understand.
And I hardly ever will.
I understand. Yeah, dude. I will never have another gym PR.
Yeah, and what's cool about your job is you don't have to post Highland Games videos to be successful.
Well, there's a time.
There's a time you
There was a time, man. And there was a time that I was really fearful about what I do for a living and then not being able to be relevant.
Yeah.
And so what I turned into was starting to do MC work and go to games and do stuff like that. And then I kind of realized that the market's bigger and my message wanted to be bigger than just Highland Games.
Yeah, for sure. And, to be relevant for me in the strength training world, I'll mature and grow as somebody that is known as a coach, in some ways, and a gym owner. But it was a big deal for me to be credible, and I think that
I think you need some fucking iron cred.
Well, I posted that video and I posted it. Usually I'll post it in my story so I don't feel like a tool, so it's gone in 24 hours. Because I'm not that proud of the things that I've done. I don't give a shit about it. It's just what I did and it came to me and it's what I wanted to do.
You and I feel very similar.
Yeah, and then like you feel about Highland Games how I feel about football, and I played enough football. I'm done. I didn't powerlift enough. So I didn't get a chance to do it more than 1 year with the body that I built. And so I really only got to enjoy it for 1 year. And I really thought I deserved 3, 4, 5. And, I thought that I had done the work to get myself through my 30s healthy, physically to move right because I moved well. And if you watched that 1,003-pound squat, you would never guess that 2 years later I couldn't lift a weight.
Right.
Because I didn't move bad.
No.
I moved good.
No, but there's just such stress under loads like that
it's just time.
It's just time. Like
Time
father time wins, dude. Yeah.
And the amount of poundage I got to a point where, I beat my body.
Every lift is really taking years.
I beat my body and I didn't know. I thought I built my body to beat the weight, but eventually it won. It's kind of like water always wins,
Yeah.
Water's always going to get somewhere. So is pain.
Yeah. and for me, honestly, I think it was an easier way to retire with having kind of the injury make that decision for me.
Yeah.
I'm easier to swallow this pill, and now dealing with the actual pain is a complete different psychology of it. But like retiring because of the injury for me was probably better than had I just gotten consistently worse.
Yeah,
that pill would have been. I don't think I could have done well.
Yeah, it was. So mine kind of abruptly ended, but I always had hope for a long period of time, and then it just went away later. But so there was like a real year and a half of uncertainty,
Well, so, and I guess like what it would have been for me, right, is I would have slipped out of the top 5 and then kind of stayed in that kind of realm where I'm sneaking back in occasionally and then still being kind of on the outs. But like with your squat, like had you had completed those next couple years, right? Let's say your injury wasn't as severe or anything like that. Let's say for the next 2 years, the best squat you're going to post is 900 pounds. Man, that's a frustrating route.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And you know what's frustrating is if I would have just stayed where I was, like, it hasn't progressed very much further beyond that. Like, since I did the 1003 at the first U.S. Open, it hasn't been done again.
Right.
So I'm like, man, if I could have just stayed, I would still
Yeah,
be
but what are we going to do? Fucking maintenance
on
lifting?
the
So
absolute
stupid.
top. Maintenance lifting does suck, but I still want to compete.
Well, I don't honestly believe it fucking exists.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's maintenance training. I either think you are
I just wanna
either trying
compete.
to fucking make progress or you're not.
I just want to be able to have fun. Even if I couldn't compete, I just want to be able to lift in the gym.
I
and
know,
have
man.
fun, you know?
I just need it to not hurt as bad, not cost me fucking 3 days on the back end.
Yeah, I just want it to be therapeutic again, and it's not.
No.
You know? It hurts me more than it helps me.
That's honestly why I've switched to the bike. Like,
But I
so
need
much,
it.
even moving for me gets stiff or feeling shitty or any of these other things. And on the bike, I feel healthy, and I feel strong, and I can fucking hammer.
Yeah.
And I can put myself into a compromised position
Right.
physically that doesn't hurt.
Right.
You know, and so that's been the tough one to kind of get to.
Right. It's tough, man. I mean, maybe I'll compete in bench only sometime or something, but I don't know. Single event lifting's lame to me.
Well,
I mean, some people have to do it, and it's fine for them. I just don't personally like it.
You're welcome. You're not shitting on someone else's thing by saying it's not a thing you like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not saying that all
That's how I
single
feel.
event lifters are dumb.
No, I have good friends that do it. It's just hard for me to want to do it.
Right.
You know, like somebody asked me to do a meet where we all bench 600, and I was like, well, I'm going to go halfway across the country and pay to do one lift.
Yeah.
You know?
Why?
I don't want to. It's different if it's like for Mark's thing where we just want to go to have fun.
Yeah, right.
But
Dude, I
this
had
is a
such
serious
good time
thing.
at
I
that.
don't want to go do something serious.
I had such a good time at that. I forget that we were both there for that. So you were at my last competition.
Yeah.
Is that
And mine.
Yeah, that was the last one you did too. Yeah.
This is 2 weeks before I had surgery.
I had good PRs that day.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any PRs, but I tore my pec the month before that. So here's what happened.
Cool.
We were doing a slingshot competition because we were fucking having a good time.
Yeah.
So the story is Matt and I went out to a competition that Mark had, and we did a push-pull.
Yep.
And it was a push-pull meet.
I just did push.
You just did push because your leg's messed up, but I did push-pull still, even though my back was fucked up because I didn't want to do one lift.
I did pull the year before on a real shit knee.
I didn't want to do the one lift. And so it was like us and like Charity and like some really cool lifters and like pro golfers.
It was like January of 19,
yeah, it was
right?
super random, yeah.
There's a bunch of random folks Mark
January
had
of
acquired.
2019. It was like January 18th or 19th. And so anyway, I was getting ready to bench, and in before the thing happened, it was like the last weekend of January, and in December, like right after Christmas, I was doing a set of 5 at 507 on bench with no slingshot, and on rep 5 I go pop right here in my pec, and it bled out a little bit, not bad. And usually for like a tweak I'll give it like 10 days. For a tear we'll give it weeks, you know. But for a tweak you're like, okay, let's skip 2 workouts, let's see how it is the next time. If it's still hurt, it's torn. If it's not, then we're getting better, you know. And it was only a little bit of blood. So I'm doing a triple at 551. I just put weight on until it doesn't feel good, man.
Yeah, I know. and weight's relative. I get
Yeah. And so
so what you're saying is 220.
I still warm up. Like the other day, I benched like 565 on a floor press, and I think I did it in 10 minutes from 0 to 565, you know. And I was just grooving. And so
just grooving, just feeling it.
Yeah, man. And so at least I'm able to do that now once a week or so, you know.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the second time when I tore it, it like really, really bled out. So I was working with Aaron from Squat U, who you work with a little bit, and I was we were here in town before he moved to St. Louis, and I need to come out to see him and see you.
Yeah, man.
But so we're working on it, and we're like trying to figure out like how bad it is. Like, you know, it's like bruising from here through here. Oof. And it wasn't that bad, and it was a little bit okay. So I literally took, I think, 2 weeks off and didn't do anything. And then I benched 405 for a single in a slingshot. And then I went to Mark's and did 677.
Ride it out. Fuck, dude.
And I just didn't want to do anything where it slowed down at all because I'm a really fast lifter, and I'm usually only fast anyway. I can grind a bench a little bit. I can grind a squat a little bit.
Yeah, but that's when ship tears.
I can't grind a deadlift. But if I'm worried about a tear, zero grind. I was just like, hey, if it slows at all, just take it.
Yep.
And because we can't risk that. It'll just pop out.
Well,
So
I've been lucky. I don't think I've ever tore a thing and ended up with bleeding from it.
So I hadn't either until then. I never bruise.
Yeah, same.
Like
now, the last knee
there's
surgery
people I know
was
that
fucking ugly.
I can flick.
Yeah,
and they bruise. And
people low fucking iron.
But dude, me, I
same.
hardly ever.
Yeah, it takes a ton. Most of my knee surgeries I really didn't bruise bad. I did from total knee replacement.
Oh yeah, you were
fucking ugly.
Yeah, that was nasty.
That's
nasty.
So with the change in kind of life and everything like that, one of those things I'm thinking about with the shutdown and how this has been. What positive changes have you seen, either in people or yourself or around from this, that you kind of hope continues?
Me personally, it put things into perspective for the most part. Like, I've been pretty cool. I mean, I lost my cool when that guy told me to move my truck earlier, but
yeah.
Sorry
for the sound at the beginning of this. Today's the day they needed to grind stumps in front of JP's business
without giving me any notice. This is annoying. And but anyway, like, right when this first started and like everything's going down, like, people are getting worked up over little shit. And I'm like, just breathe, guys.
Right.
Like, somebody did something they didn't intend to do, and like people were like tagging me in it, and they were messaging me about it, and then whoever was associated with it, I just messaged them and I was like, hey, buddy, I don't care.
I don't care.
I was like, there's so much going on right now. Like, I don't care. This is so unimportant right now. Yeah. And to the point where we're like, even when we're remodeling, like if we were talking about something not important, I was just like, hey, just do whatever you want.
Yep.
This is not important to me anymore.
It's weird, right? That shift kind of happened. It's like, it's not a thing. That's not a thing I'm going to lose sleep over.
No. And so I immediately like really shifted that way where I'm like, why are we majoring in the minors right now? And, why are we having an opinion? Why are we wasting energy? You literally can't do anything to help yourself or save yourself right now except be more sane. And if I put energy into that, then it's just going to wreck me.
Yep.
And I don't want that.
So you hope that comes out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too, man. For me, the really big one was I've put a lot of pressure on myself over the last 5 or 6 years with the brand and with what I do for a living, because I mean, fuck, you know what it is, making a move to be on your own.
Yeah.
And it's all working and progress is happening and all those things, but man, you don't want to lose momentum.
Yeah, and we've seen people our age doing similar things that make those kinds of decisions that don't go okay.
Yeah.
And so it's you see real life failures and successes, and it becomes a bit hard, but then also depending on how many things you've done or how many things you've tried or who you've worked for or who you've seen succeed that you were way more competent than, those kind of experiences give you an idea of what you want to do too.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, okay, why not me?
Yeah. Then, the thing that I had told myself for so long is the way that I traveled the way that I did, because if I'm not traveling, I'm not doing this, and I'm not out in front of people, and it's not promoting the brand, and it's not blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And it's been really good for me that during the shutdown, that business has been good, but it's been good because people are trapped at home because of a shutdown. So it's not like, it's not the fairest fucking, example.
Yeah, you're in front of them because, I'm sure everybody's looking at their iPhone metrics at the end of the week, and they're on it more.
We leaned in to make more content, to try to give people something to do and something to look at. And it's been good feeling that, like, maybe I don't have to travel as hard as I have been and get owned by that, because that's last year, man, we did it. We fucking went hard. And I mean, there was a 3-month time stretch that I think I'd slept in my bed like 8 nights. Yeah. And you do it because you tell yourself, if we're not doing this, then the rest of the stuff I'm promoting isn't going to work. And
it's kind of like with the gym. There's periods where things get busy and I'm just not home. Yeah. And, I miss my kids and I start feeling bad that I took time off, but I also get to do this, and I also get to change that a little bit and do something different and say yes to something else.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, especially with the kids bit that I'm
going to get to bring the kids to work, or not both of them, but Jack, the older one, until summer school starts. Like, he's going to be here 2 days a week.
That's cool.
And it's because we have to. And I don't really want to bring him here because the gym's not for kids, it's for adults. But I get that opportunity, and I get to make the most of it. And I get to, like, for example, I was texted earlier, like, hey, do you want me to get 2 lunches for him for tomorrow, or do you want to do something? And I go, I don't know, ask him.
Yeah.
I probably would have made that decision, 5 weeks ago by myself,
Right.
and had an opinion. But today, I don't care.
Yeah, I think that's good, man. I think being able to kind of let the reins go a little bit to the universe is healthy.
Yeah, and in my business, and I don't know if this happens to you a whole lot, but I started to take things really personally. Like if somebody cancels or if somebody wants to do their own thing, if somebody wants to start a garage gym, if whatever.
Yeah, dude. There was a period of time that even like a refund. I was like, well, what's going on?
Right, yeah. And now I'm at the point where so somebody wanted to start a garage gym and they wanted to pay this month. And I said, look, I don't care if you want to spend the money or not. I don't want it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point I'm at right now is I want this to feel pure.
It's good, dude.
And I only want money from people who want to spend it. I only want money that want it to go nowhere else but to me, and to what we're trying to build. And that's what feels good about it. And then when money doesn't feel good, I'm able to say, no, it doesn't feel good.
It's cool not being owned.
Yeah.
Right. And man, I think that's a bigger thing that more people give up than they realize is how owned they are by either their day, their life, their routine, their anything, and that you're stuck in this kind of reactionary mode all the time. Whether it's filling obligation or doing all this other shit instead of that feeling of being at the wheel and being able to play offense with your day.
Right.
That one's been a real powerful one. Like one of those things I got asked recently was, could I go work for someone else again? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I mean, I can. I don't want to.
Right.
I mean, if I was forced to.
I'm not sure what salary I would have to get offered to go from what I currently do now to even the restrictions of my old job, which are pretty fucking loose as an outside sales guy that traveled and competed.
Right.
But let's just say to actually have a boss and have that anxiety again of...
To wear a uniform every day or dress up.
Oh, man.
For me, I mean, it'd be like $250 plus, and I don't make very much.
On it, man, I get weird on money. I like money. I like buying things. I like nice things. It's not like I live.
But you've also, as you expanded and as you created more opportunity and as you opened the door to more, you chose less in your home.
Yeah.
Because you want life to be simple.
Well, I want freedom.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want the big fucking house, and I don't want the expensive car note. I don't want those things because I want freedom to go to Japan for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And not have to give a fuck about what anything cost while I was there. Mm-hmm. Like that's freedom for me. Is that?
Yeah, totally. Freedom for me is being comfortable.
Yes.
I just want to be comfortable, and so when I try to create a salary, I don't create it based on some goal number that lets me go do something or this or that. I just create it off of what's going to make my life the most chill.
Dude, and that's what I feel about money too, right? Like I know
so that means I have to only work enough to have that too.
Correct.
I want to make that decision too.
Yeah, and I like working. I like all
and
the
right
different
now I don't
things
make
I
that
do.
decision. I grind right now. But it's because I want to be able to do that later.
But you also should be right now.
Yeah. I'm 35.
Well, not only that, you're just starting this career path.
Right.
Like this is your year one of hate.
I do feel bad that I made a decision to change jobs, to be around more, to have more freedom, but then it pulled me away some. Now, not necessarily more though. I still feel like I'm way more available. I still feel like I'm way looser. I just need to be present here a lot. And I do feel like I'm still creating more freedom for the future too.
The difference is the route that you were on working for someone else.
Yeah.
The time that you had set up at that point, this was fixed, and that's how it was going to be forever.
Yeah.
Whereas now, this may be something that right now it's ugly, that you've got to put in this extra time and these other hours.
For sure.
But you're investing in yourself
Right.
so that you have more freedom in 5 years.
Right.
Because, dude, nothing fucking comes easy. There isn't this, oh, shit, I'll just open a gym and have X amount of dollars come in plus not need to be there. No fucking way.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No one gets to do that. And especially it's important in what we do today with having, like we talked about, a following that if part of the advertisement for coming to train here is the fact that you're here, guess what? You need to fucking be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, if you want to try to allot a half hour to do something that takes a half hour, that's cool. But here it takes an hour because you get talked to.
Yep.
And that's okay because I set that up that way,
Well, but that's the
expect
difference in like while your gym has this lounge and they're as a fucking a powerlifting gym,
Yeah.
you have the nicest powerlifting gym I've been to. I wouldn't call super training. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Right? Like something
it's a
there's
little
something different.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's for sure a powerlifting gym.
Yeah.
But it's an office.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a bit more intimate and and it's a hang.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mark's gym is super nice. It's super cool.
Of course.
But one thing people don't understand about Mark's gym, his is a little bigger than here.
Yep.
But it actually just has like way, way less equipment. They've got more variety in some ways.
It's super spaced out.
But there's only 2 benches, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. There's only like 3 or
There
4
may be
squat
4
racks
benches.
total. Maybe 3 or 4 squat racks total. There's 2 monos and 1 cage. But people don't understand that Mark's gym's not quite as, like, there's not a lot of frequency of equipment.
No, but that's not what they built. Nor is it really open to the public to come fucking train.
And that's why it is set up the way it's set up. Mark doesn't have to have 10 squat racks.
No.
I have to.
Right.
And he also doesn't have to have competition stuff if he doesn't want
Mark
to.
doesn't have to have a gym.
He doesn't have to have anything. He can do it every once.
No,
but then some of the stuff is so cool, like some of the little trinkets he's got, And, and like the type of sled I'll never be able to afford,
the
with
tank
the wheels,
Dude, so really not bad in that price range. There's a Expo sled. I've got one.
Really?
And it's got wheels on it, and it's got a governor on the front wheel. So it doesn't make any noise when you push it on concrete. And also, like, we could load a 45 on it just to keep the nose down. You could push it, Bonnie could push it, Ryan could push it. And it's resistance based on how hard you push.
Yeah.
Not on the weight on it. And it's like I think it's Expo sled. Like XPO.
I'll have to check that out. I think I looked at the price of those tanks, and they were like $2,400.
Oh, the tanks are ridiculous.
They were wild.
But they're also real. Like, this one's just the same size as like an old Prowler.
That's cool.
They're really rad. I've got one over at 9 for 9 I've had for a number of years.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, dude, I really think with what you've got here, and you have to nail the community aspect of the gym thing, and that's where a lot of people miss the
That's
boat.
where the real work happened, because we built this over a long period of time, and I was one of a group of people on a team. And sure, I turned into the leader of that team over time, and that's just my personality of what I kind of do in anything I try to do. But and then that just happens. I don't want to be a leader. Just like I get forfeited into that role because I get interested, and then I want to make things better.
For me, right, that I'm very happy with democratic decisions on things.
Sure.
That doesn't bother me at all. Let's take everyone's opinion.
Right.
I don't have a problem with pass or fail being put on my shoulders for making decisions.
A lot of times people don't want to decide.
Right.
And I'm like, all right,
and there's
cool,
a lot of decisions that sometimes just need to be made by a person.
Yeah.
Like, if we're on a long road trip and there's 6 people in the car, I'm not fucking asking everyone where we're stopping for lunch.
Right.
I'm going to pick a place, and that's where we're eating.
Yeah, or a person and say, where do you want to go?
I'll be smart and go over here because there's 4 options.
Right.
I'll make that call. Here are the 4 options. I did my best I could for you.
That's correct.
I didn't ask where everyone wanted to go.
Right.
But sometimes you got to have somebody in the boat that makes those calls.
Well, so what happened was we had a tiny team, and then over time I became the stronger lifter on the team, and I became more involved, and then a referee, and then a meet director, and I went into those roles, and people asked me to a lot of times or thrust me into those roles, but if anybody else didn't, it's just because they didn't care as much or weren't as into it. I was into it. And I wanted to make it better, and I've always felt like if I'm willing to bitch about something, I'm also willing to make it better. So if you don't want standards and rules and whatever to be better, then don't follow them and don't whatever. But I did, so I got involved. And so that's how that got set up. And then when it came to working, in a different way, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can, do a few different jobs, or, maybe I could work in this field. And so then there was always that always made some weirdness between people who didn't take it as seriously, or maybe didn't want to see this as a business. But then eventually I think everybody kind of came onto my vision a little bit, where I was like, no, this is cool that we have a team and it's exclusive, but what would be even cooler if the whole city was inclusive to it?
Yeah.
And let's make it bigger. It's cool to have 10
You can
friends.
still have inclusivity.
Yeah. And we can still be closer than everybody else and closer friends than everybody else and work together. But why can't we bring other people into it too? the worst thing that you can ever do is to have a gift and never give it to anybody. And so I thought everybody needed to have it, and they deserve to taste that, and feel it. You can't go around and tell everybody that you're the best at something and you do the best more than anybody else, but then not give it to anybody else.
No, you got to share.
Yeah. And so that's what's so confusing about that. I keep looking and I'm confused. I'm like, why has Bonnie worn 5 different pairs of pants? Brand's shooting photos of her in different joggers.
Photos. Yeah,
I'm like, I swear to God, she was wearing mustard pants an hour
pants.
ago. We've got these new cameras and they're all big so now I can see. And I'm like, she's wearing maroon now. This is easily her 4th pair.
So you're pretty excited to get things back up and actually some semblance of normalcy?
Yeah, well, we just haven't been able to be normal for a long period of time yet. And it keeps putting me into these tumultuous periods. I've had to regrow my own income 3 times in the last 3 years, and I'm like, hey, can we just have some consistency?
Just give me a fucking straight year, guys. Just
I'm
1 year where I
finally
run the business and everything. We're allowed to be open.
Everything's finally consistent. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'll just lose $5,000 this month. And I'm like, and I'm not bummed about money because I'll make it back, but like it sucked.
It's still $5,000. It still
sucked. And
it's fuck, man.
2 years ago, when the one gym owner went bankrupt and the other one took the gym owner, I was out $7,000. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm out $7,000. Thanks, guys. And I'll just fuck myself and move on.
Yeah, just fuck me.
And
right.
Can I just have a year with none of this shit? And so anyway, I just want things to chill out, and I just want to do business as usual, man. And so that's all I'm getting excited for is that. I hate not being able to schedule things or plan or not have things set up, and it's just been a bummer. And I just want things to feel normal for a long period, I'm tired of blowing it up.
Right? And that
I'm tired of rebuilding that.
Like because the pace you've been at for the last couple of years also isn't sustainable.
Yeah, it's
and
tough.
You know that like.
You only have so many times to get to try this and have it be hard.
Well, not only that, like you only get to try so many times before the risk outweighs the reward.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've done the work of just putting the chips back on the table and going for it because, I mean, the vision's there and you definitely, like, there's a demand for it.
I don't think people understand, like, I don't get paid from the gym hardly. I can go just work in my basement in my slippers and program in my Crocs all day.
Right.
I don't have to be here.
Yeah.
I want to be here.
This more currently cost you money because it costs you time.
Yeah. And, now if I never make $1 at the gym, but I never lose $1 either, and I'm able to keep this happening for people and I'm able to make a living coaching, then okay, I'll do that for other people for that long. I don't care. But, I do want it to be easier at some point. I think everybody desires that at some point, to have something that feels normal, that doesn't take all this extra effort all the time,
It's funny how long you'll lie to yourself that extra effort is required.
Normal. Yeah.
Until you end up in a thing that just kind of flows, and you're like, oh.
People are like, why are you always so slammed? I'm like, I guess because I got good at it and I shouldn't have. Like, why are people good procrastinators? We got good at it.
Yeah.
And now I'm awesome at it.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Man, that's a tough one. Procrastination's a tough one.
Yeah. That's why I guess, like, I'm so effective being busy, because when I'm under the gun is when I'm at my best.
Where are we at? We're rocking and rolling. About hour 20, man.
Man, how many topics did we write down that we got into?
We got most of them.
Did we?
Yeah, most of them that I think.
Oh yeah, we talked about alchemy and all that stuff.
Most of them that I think were any of use. So the only thing I've gained from being here, JP, is I found out I'm heavier than I've been lying to myself about being. So
yeah,
I gotta stop eating such a dick.
People like mention that a lot. It's weird to be in this environment and then with people that aren't in this environment. So. We went somewhere one time and there was a lady that was with us that's not ever been around us, and she was like, we were talking to Hunter about her body weight.
Oh man.
And she was like, you guys just talk about how much she weighs? And I was like, yeah, what kind of pussy are you?
right. She's an athlete.
She's 180 pounds and she cuts to 165.
Yeah, she's an athlete.
That's what we talk about, And we can make fun of each other like we're friends.
Right, dude.
And this lady was just blown away that we talk about her body weight.
It would be so strange to me to, like, I guess I think sports and like my group of friends did that and fixed it for me, that like I just don't have soft spots because they attack for so fucking long. One
of my clients has got a nutrition coach because I like make fun of her all the time. She'll be like, I bench 160, and I'm like, oh, you got body weight. I'm so excited.
Yeah, right. Fuck, man. Yeah.
didn't know I screwed around and gave her dysmorphia.
There's a lot of people get weird on it. A lot of people get weird, and a lot of people are really have crazy expectations on things.
That's true. I mean, like, people will call the gym and be like, "Hey, I want to gain 10 pounds of muscle."
I'm like, cool, we got a year.
Did you know you can only gain 3 a year? Like, literally, they've done the science.
Like, no. A buddy of mine put on 50 pounds.
They'll be like, "Hey, I want to go from 280 down to 230 and then back up to 290 lean." And Ryan's like, "You just told me 15 years."
Right, cool. I'm in business. You want to sign a contract? Dude, people
5-year minimum on a 15-year contract.
A guy asked me on Instagram the other day, shout out if you're listening, man. Mm-hmm. Dude's like 41, getting into the Highland Games, not very tall, not very big. He's like a $190. Mm-hmm. And tells me his goals is he wants to throw far, and he also wants to go to Scotland and do the stones and then do the Husafell stone. And, like, what do I think he should do to train for that? And I'm like, well, what are your current numbers?
Right.
And so, like, gives me his numbers, and, I mean, he's like, I'm hoping to go from, like, a 425 to a 660 deadlift, or 475 to, like, a 660 deadlift in 18 months.
Ooh, could happen, but he's 40.
That was my thought. I'm like, you're 41, and you weigh 190 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to weigh 250?
Yeah.
Because
that would do it.
We're going to have to go that route. We're not doing this. You're not
get there that fast.
You're not pulling 3 times body weight, my friend, at 41 for the first time.
Yeah, how long did it take you to do your last 50-pound PR?
Right. Well, that's the same question. Like, how long have you been lifting?
Right.
Like, well, I've been lifting for quite some time. Like, okay, then.
It's even
harder. Right.
Yeah.
And, like, man, you got to at least be fucking realistic.
I started getting, I don't know if I've always gotten these messages, but I started getting messages like the other day I put a video out and this guy said, wear your seatbelt. And I responded, mind your own fucking business. Like, usually I'm like really nice to everybody. And then he was like, LOL, you right. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, mind your fucking business.
I put one out yesterday, and there's like guys that just want to have an opinion about things all the time, I guess. But somebody was like, I said, would you rather squat 1,000 pounds or lose 100 pounds? And I was like, well, right now I would rather lose 100 pounds. Yeah. And then a guy replied, but you've already squatted 1,000 pounds. It's an easy choice. And I go, yeah, but I'd fucking like to still be able to do it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny. Both of us immediately go, I mean, I did a grand of gear, but like the same way I feel about it. I'm like, man, I'll take a.
Hey, guess what? You could.
I mean, I don't want to lose 100 pounds, but whatever the equivalent is.
If I could squat 1,000 pounds right now, and I could for the last 4 years, I would make a lot more money way more easily. Because if you can squat 1,000 pounds for 5 years, you could turn that into a lot of things.
Yep, for sure.
If you do it once 5 years ago, well, guess what? There's 7, 8, 9, 10 other people that squatted 1,000 pounds in the last 10 years that haven't done anything.
Well, I guess that's an interesting question, right? Like, and we talked about longevity of things. I mean, do you think, with your personal feelings on it, that while you had one of the biggest squats ever recorded, that your career wasn't long enough to really put you into that upper echelon of great lifters?
I think that it could have been better. I think it was okay. It could have been better. I think some people think I'm a great lifter. Some people don't know. I would have liked to. So what my goal was, Matt, before this back shit all happened, was I wanted to be one of the best lifters of all time, and then I wanted to lose weight and then do it for a long period. I wanted to look good too.
Sure.
So, and then I wanted to bench double body weight. I wanted to, do impressive things at 308. So I did want to do it all. I wanted to be a pro strongman.
Okay.
So my goals were way bigger than what I ever got to accomplish.
Yeah, that's...
So, no, I'm okay with it because I did hit almost every goal you could ever imagine for me.
Right.
But there were other things I still wanted to do that I didn't get to try. So.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's...
So I'm pretty at peace with that, but I'm always a little... Like, I'm very at peace with football. I could never play another game again, and I'd be so fine with it. I played plenty of football, but I thought I could have lifted more.
Right. Yeah, you had a lot more left in the tank mentally.
Yeah. If I get a chance to, I'll probably still try to bench 600 at 300.
Now,
I want to do that, and I also still want to deadlift 804 in a meet. And so if I ever get the opportunity to do either of those, I will.
Now, do you feel like with your injury and you're being removed from the sport, do you feel that it happened because of like a shortcoming on your own training or any of that type of stuff that you set yourself up for that failure long term, or do you think you reached the potential?
That's a good question. So it could either be that I didn't work hard enough because I didn't work enough on training, but the other argument is I was like super well rested because I didn't do that much. So that's part of it. I did squat 900 like 20 plus times in one training cycle, and that could have been tough. It didn't feel hard.
Well, but that's, it's relative, right? But bones are still bones.
It could have added up,
you
know. So it could have been totally my fault. But then again, if you go back and look at me lift, like I didn't lift bad.
No.
You know? And so it's
I mean,
a little
look,
bit
we can't say
confusing.
that lifting that much weight isn't a risk.
Yeah.
Because we know that's not true.
Right.
We know it is. But whether or not your career was cut short due to mistakes,
right,
or was just this the most that you were going to lift?
Yeah. I mean, I could have just
max
broken
potential.
my human body.
Right.
You
found the line of how strong that this physical form was going to get under those conditions.
When I was at the strongest I ever was, there wasn't much to add. Like I could have never benched that much over 640 without doing something drastic with my body. You know, I could deadlift more for sure.
Well, at that point, like if you'd have wanted to bench more,
too.
you would have needed to only give a shit about benching for a long time.
Probably, yeah. Because I mean, if you look at it, I actually had the highest bench in the world my last year.
Oh shit!
You know, for people who lifted in full meets. So the only guys that are stronger than me on the bench were typically people that were bench only. You know, so as far as like, at one point I had an all-time top 20 bench, and ahead of me there was only like 2 people that did full meets.
Okay.
Yeah, like everybody else was only bench only. So bench only is actually super competitive compared to, some things.
Fuck, I bet.
Yeah, because so many people can bench.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Essentially. And not to mention, like, dude, you get some monsters in different weight classes, and then flexibility and a lot of other things come into issue too with benching.
Absolutely.
I
didn't yawn because you're boring.
That happens.
I yawned because I just opened my gym after renovating it in 7 days and hardly sleeping much.
Well, dude, give them the spiel if they want to come train with you and they're in the area or passing through or anything like that.
Absolutely. I mean, and we've even got a room over here we've thought about turning into an optional guest room.
So Sorinex did that years and years ago.
We've got
just put in bunks.
And,
it was great for people passing through.
We just get that a lot. And, I mean, it is cheap to stay in Kansas City, though. So we do get a lot of people that travel here, and we love that.
Yep.
Just let us know in advance. And, passing through here is easy. It's $10 to drop in. If you're ever going to pass through a gym that's private, though, just message them in advance. I get a lot of texts, like, while I'm literally, like, in bed or like, waking up or, hey, we're at the door. Like, are you guys open? It's a private gym. Just message us. And, so I love having visitors. I love having people come out here. Obviously, we want new members. With the coronavirus stuff, we are not really allowing any visitors because it's just kind of irresponsible to.
Sure.
But we are allowing some new members if they intend to be here for a long time. But it's kind of a tough conundrum because you don't want to offer for people to, visit and get in the way of your current members. You want to serve them first.
They have to be served first.
We've kind of said, hey, we understand that you need a place to lift, but we just can't not serve our people first.
Yep. It's got to be that way.
We've been a little strict about it, but it's because we were the first to open. We don't want to get shut back down.
Right.
And we don't want to spike the curve. We want to keep things as safe as possible.
Yeah, man.
And so if you're coming through here, Strong Barbell Club, we're $60 a month, no contracts, and we're 24/7. It's a real mature gym. It feels like moving out of your mom's basement to train here. And we've got all the stuff that you need for anybody that does any competitive, international, strongman, powerlifting, weightlifting. It's just a great community to be a part of. So we got 160 members. We'll probably go up to about 200 members or so. But it's just cool to be able to look up on the screen and see people that have placed at nationals, an American record-holding Olympic weightlifter, and just see people able to do something at the highest level that they can do it at in the town that never had it. And so if you're interested in that, come out here. If you want to train with me, hit me up. I do online training for folks. I'm a little full right now, but I typically don't say no a lot if I can. And so anyway, check us out at Strong Barbell Club. You can find me at JPLifts_SBC, Strong Barbell Clubs on Instagram. I pretty much only use Instagram. I don't like using anything else.
No, same.
It's the one that fits me the best.
Yeah, YouTube has been good, but yeah, Instagram for the most part.
For sure. I feel like YouTube, the disconnect is in how user-friendly it is. Yeah.
Interesting.
I need a brand to do that.
Yeah, I gotcha. Brother, fucking love coming to hang out with you.
Absolutely.
Always
with you guys being in St. Louis, I love having the excuse.
Yeah, same, right? We'll definitely get you dragged over that way pretty soon.
Absolutely. So, also, if you're 330, go with the 3XL.
3XL shorts. Good to know.
I got them in every color.
Thank you guys for listening, and we're out of here.